Hi, welcome to Master Talent Teachers. I'm Diane Christensen, your master teacher for kids and teenagers. We have a really exciting video. I really am thrilled that we are going to be interviewing the award-winning Carol Goldwasser, casting director for children's television. Many of you may have heard of Carol because she cast a little show called Hannah Montana a short time ago, and she does work for Disney. The new shows that she works on are Dog with a Blog and Austin and Ally. Carol has been visiting our workshops for several years now, and we've had the pleasure of getting to know the ins and outs of casting children's television. So if you ever wanted to know what a casting director is looking for kids in Nickelodeon or Disney, Carol's our gal. So I'm so excited to welcome her here today, Miss Carol Goldwasser. Welcome, Carol.
Thank you for having me.
I think we should just get started because there's a lot that people want to know that you have to say. So I'd like to know, what made you decide to work with kids and teenagers?
Well, it was more like the universe decided for me. I was working more in network television and comedy, and I was working with a partner, and we were looking for new avenues to expand our business. And we sent our casting resume to one of the children's networks, and we got hired on one project, and then we had some fairy dust on us from that one project because it was a highly successful project, and the work just kept coming, and we never looked back. And we both work solo now, but the work has pursued me. It wasn't necessarily a choice that I really pursued it in a major way, but once I got into it, it really, it feels comfortable and feels good, and I enjoy doing it, obviously, because I've kept doing it.
What has been your favorite project?
Probably my favorite show was a Disney XD show called I'm in the Band. Even though it was a children's show, it had a lot of adult regulars. The writing was more sophisticated, but still played to kids. It had a lot of physical comedy. It was like the Three Stooges in a rock band, So it was just a group of people that really gelled and went to the set every day and just had tremendous fun. So I could do, I was able to cast adults, I was able to cast kids and teens. It just was a great experience. And interestingly, commercially was probably the least successful show of the ones that I've worked on, but it was just such a joy to show up for work every day. My impression was that the network was hoping that that would be a real flagship show to bring a lot of boys to that network. They see that as the network that attracts boys. Disney Channel being the one that's more girl-oriented, and Disney XD more for boys. But for some reason, the numbers didn't support it continuing. I guess, even though it was a joy for all the adults to work on it, maybe the fact that there were so many adult regulars meant that the kids couldn't connect as much to what they were seeing on screen. That's their formula, is that the protagonists of the show are kids that are actually the same age as their audience.
What do you think makes an actor stand out in the audition room?
Well, when someone comes in, and this happens with kids and teens a lot of times they're looking for me to give them the keys to the kingdom. They're looking for me to tell them, this is where the joke is, or this is how the character is. When someone comes in and they show me how the character should be played, and they show me that they not only do they find every joke on the page, but they beat the page and they elevate the material and they add stuff of their own that really makes the character sing, and then you're like, oh, my job is done. That's when it's a joy, and that's what makes people stick out. They commit to the character, they make choices. Sometimes the choices are surprising, but comedy is surprise. I always think comedy is much more difficult to cast than drama because you actually have to find people who understand how to deliver comedic material. In drama, if you look a little bit like the what the producers are seeking, and you have a naturalistic acting style, you know, and you understand the rhythm of that particular writer's words, then you move the exposition along. That's pretty much what you have to do. In comedy, you have to do all that and land a joke. And in multi-camera sitcom, which is the bulk of what I work on for kids networks, there's a rhythm to the language, and it's not honestly naturalistic at all. It's very theatrical. It's much harder to come in and nail a comedy audition, I think, because it requires a very specific kind of work. You have to understand where the rhythm is, understand where the jokes are, and you have to have a little extra something that makes us want to watch you, that makes us want to hang with you, you know, turn on the set.
Like a naturally funny person.
Exactly. Right. And, you know, you hear people say comedy can't be taught. I mean, the elements of comedy can be taught. But if you read a page and you don't understand funny and you don't think funny and you don't know where the jokes are, you're probably not going to be cast as a funny actor, unfortunately. I mean, I read comedy scripts for a living, so when I read a comedy script, it's like a roadmap to me. It's like joke, 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 and I understand where they are. But someone who's inexperienced with comedy material doesn't necessarily do that. But if you have a comedy kind of mind and you have a bent for comedy, then hopefully the particular comic gimmicks can be layered on top of a natural affinity for comedy.
This has been part 1 of our interview In the Moment with Carol Goldwasser. We wanted to let you know that Carol has 5 nominations for Artio Awards, which are given out by the Casting Society of America. She's won 2 times. Once for Outstanding Achievement in Children's Casting, Series Programming for Hannah Montana, and for Best Children's TV Programming, also for Hannah Montana. We have part 2 coming soon, so won't you come back and see us at Master Talent Teachers. Thank you.